Cam, obviously a pretty poor first half by your own admission. Can you give us a sort of insight into what was said at half time and what changes you sort of came out and made in that second half to pull the game back like you did?
Yeah, it's gutting. I mean, you say pull the game back, but ultimately it wasn't enough in the end. We gave ourselves too much of a hill to climb for that second half. Yes, we were better in that second half, but how poor we were in the first half, we didn't really give ourselves much of a chance. So yeah, the first half was definitely our undoing there.
And Skiv said on TNT, I guess just a little bit inaccurate in that first half, and that those sort of little inaccuracies go a long way to costing you meters and penalties and ultimately put you on the back foot.
Yeah, to be honest, actually skill errors, when we make skill errors, there's no real consequence around them in terms of there's no annoyance in the group. We don't let that frustrate us. So skill errors are never our undoing. It's always around real basic stuff. As simple as missing breakdowns, they get a turnover, we're defending. So skill errors can always be forgiven, but the fundamentals of the game can't.
Ultimately, going into that second half, there was a lot more intent, and that got the crowd going, the crowd on side behind you, and you sort of seemed to feed off that as well in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. It's been said 1,000 times, and I'll say it again, the fans here are the best in the world. You struggle to go to a rugby stadium, I think, and get better support. The Shed were unbelievable. Like the noise they were making when we went ahead was outstanding. It's just unfortunate we couldn't bring it home for them.
I know the game's finished, like you say, obviously pulling the game back, but still coming out on the wrong side of the result. What are your sort of overall feelings on the game? Where does that leave you going into next week?
We don't let mistakes carry with us week to week. We see it's kind of unforgivable to let the same mistakes happen again and again. So those basic things we've definitely got to get right. But it's all about building momentum. We can't get angry at ourselves for small skill errors, as I said earlier. We're a team that likes to push the envelope, and those ultimately will happen. But it's the basics of the game that we're undoing.
And such is professional sport. Yes, you'll obviously analyse this game, but you've got to sort of get back on the horse and head into Bath next week, which will be a tough challenge in its own right.
Yeah, exactly. Bath are the champions for a reason at the minute. You look at the team they've got, the squad depth they've got. They're up there for a reason. And we've got a big challenge ahead of us, and there's no doubt about it. We can't go in our shells after the first couple of losses. We've got to make sure we keep pushing that envelope.
Cheers, Cam. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.